motorsports, otherwise known as Formula 1, has revolutionized the way that open-wheel drivers are protected with the invention of the halo. Yet Indycar perfected it with the Aeroscreen. Drivers climb into their office, signing a psychological contract with their machines to keep them safe. Yet a unique problem over the 100 years of open-wheel racing is how does one protect the driver whilst retaining the formula of open-wheel race cars. The development of the halo has marked a huge change in the history of driver protection in open-wheel racing, yet the halo does not stand tall beside the Aeroscreen. Its effectiveness? It's unmatched. To understand the Aeroscreen, one must look at the history behind the halo and the demand for its creation in the first place. The development of the halo that would eventually lead to the creation of the Aeroscreen would begin at the Suzuka circuit in 2014. Jules Bianchi, a young Frenchman with high prospects, would have his life cut short after slamming underneath a tractor, pulling a car from a barrier. He was not the first open-wheel racer to die from head injuries. Far from it. Ayrton Senna in 94, Greg Moore in 99, Dan Weldon in 2011 are just a few of the many that have passed away from unsurvivable head injuries. After Bianchi's death, the FIA set out to develop a device to protect drivers' heads from fatal injuries. The FIA began to build a frame that formed the shape of a wishbone. The halo would be implemented in F1 in 2018. Across the pond in 2015, Indycar driver Justin Wilson would pass away from an 8-pound nose cone that struck him in the head during a race at Pocono Superspeedway. This accident would trigger Indycar to seek a similar solution for driver protection. Indycar would begin their development of their own device to protect their drivers' heads. One early development that Indycar would begin with is a shark fin that sits in front of the driver titled the Advanced Frontal Protection, AFP for short, set out to deflect debris that would otherwise hit the driver's head. The 3-inch tall, 3/4-inch wide titanium piece replaces a windscreen unit that was tested in 2018. The part, made by Dallara, is designed to deflect debris away from the driver, as quoted in the Indianapolis Business Journal. The AFP, being used throughout the 2019 IndyCar season, set out the groundwork for the Aeroscreen. The first development would come from the 2017 offseason, where from testing an early version of the windscreen that is in use on the Aeroscreen to this day, would be designed to protect drivers from smaller debris that the AFP would not be able to protect the drivers from. PPG, the same company that manufactures canopies for fighter jets, would start their work on a windscreen. The AFP and windscreen that were tested would turn out to be the base of the Aeroscreen frame. The frame of the Aeroscreen takes direct inspiration from the wishbone design of the halo, except the Aeroscreen is stronger. The Aeroscreen has a stronger resistance than the Formula 1 halo. Pankel's titanium frame weighs about 27.8 pounds and can withstand 34,000 pounds of force, which is equivalent to 17 tons. In comparison, the halo can only withstand 12 tons. A prime example of the strength of the Aeroscreen being put to the test would come very recently on July 14th of 2024, where a last lap crash would send driver Stingray Robb airborne. Ed Carpenter's car had become planted on top of Kyle Kirkwood's car after launching off of Alexander Rossi's car, and all three drivers would thankfully walk away unharmed due in large part to the Aeroscreen having the strength to hold the 17 tons that it can.
Hopefully everyone that's gotten out is okay. Yeah, definitely a very, very scary wreck, flipping multiple times up in the air. As soon as I saw that, they were actually slowing down so much.
The strength alone could argue the superiority of the Aeroscreen over the halo. Yet that is not all. F1 and IndyCar may have their own needs for driver protection. Though when it comes down to safety, the windshield adds a level of security that the halo alone cannot provide. The windshield is the second half to the construction of the Aeroscreen. It provides protection from small debris that could cause injury to the driver, in which the frame would not normally sufficiently provide alone. A prime example of this would be when Felipe Massa in 2009 was subjected to a serious head injury that would later end his career after a spring struck him in the head, knocking him unconscious. Had the halo been present during this time, the same result would be likely, as the halo is designed for protection from large pieces such as tires, suspension pieces, or even the cars themselves. Yet on the other hand, with the Aeroscreen, the windshield that is attached to the titanium frame would likely deflect the spring away from Massa, preventing any injury to him had it been present during that time. Another prime example for how the Aeroscreen reigns over the halo in terms of small debris protection would come early into the implementation of the Aeroscreen. In March of 2022, rookie driver Callum Ilot's car would be struck by a pushrod suspension piece from Jack Harvey's car. The Aeroscreen provided sufficient protection that would have otherwise sent the pushrod into Callum Ilott, causing likely a fatal injury. The windscreen ensures that there is none too little chance that the small debris could cause any major injury to the drivers. The windscreen has added benefits that the Formula One halo does not: environment protection and driver comfort. Environmental protection that is supplied to the drivers with the Aeroscreen are protected from rain, snow, and any other weather conditions that the halo would not be able to provide. Concerning driver comfort, initially the halo did reign over the Aeroscreen. The wishbone shape of the frame created a window for air to flow and cool the driver more than the Aeroscreen could. Although the argument that driver comfort is favoring the halo does not hold when the introduction of new cooling ducts in the updated Aeroscreen 2.0 was introduced in 2024. The Aeroscreen evolved to surpass the halo with the means of driver cooling and comfort. Reduced wind buffering and increased aerodynamic stability are an added benefit of the Aeroscreen, as drivers are not battered against their headrest when exposed to the wind and precipitation like the halo does. The Aeroscreen towers over the halo concerning driver protection and comfort. The effort from development of the halo laid the groundwork for the Aeroscreen, and the effectiveness of the Aeroscreen reigns supreme to this day. Yet, Indycar perfected it. The Aeroscreen may have joined the party late, however, it will continue to stand tall over the halo and continue to provide the ultimate form of driver protection and comfort in open-wheel racing.